Is this coin here really worth its weight in metal or just fun to look at? Stick around and I'll let you know what I think, and it might surprise you. I'm talking fancy copper coins versus the metal is metal argument today. I'll even touch on pennies and some special designs of copper bullion that may save you silver bugs out there some money and regrets. First up, let's address the most obvious reason critics of copper coins, such as those offered at JM Bullion, have to avoid the metal, which is the value of copper itself and the cost of the coins or rounds. In a previous video I pinned on my channel, I went through the various benefits of stacking copper as a prepper in a remote location, such as parts of the Chihuahuan Desert in West Texas. One thing I only gave a passing mention to was its monetary value, because to be honest, I don't collect it as an investment in the market value of the metal itself. As of now in 2022, the price of copper per ounce is around 30 cents. This is extrapolated from the usual value you'll find online, which can be rounded up to about $5 per pound. Consider that the average 1 ounce copper coin is around $2. To be precise, I should say 0.999 fine copper round, to use the correct terminology, since the word coin is generally reserved for official government minted currency with a face value such as $5. So you only have 30 cents of that $2 in the metal of your copper round. For a silver coin or round, the premium above spot price, the extra money you pay over the cost of the raw metal, is usually more than the total cost of a copper round. With the price of copper in mind, however, stacking even the most space-friendly bars of copper purely for the value of the raw metal would require a lot of space. Consider that 100 pounds of copper is about $500 at today's prices. Compare that to silver, where only 1 pound is worth $360. And of course, gold beats both metals significantly in the sense of being compact at around 2,000 pounds per ounce. The only place where copper shines, no pun intended, from the perspective of the value of the metal, is how much the spot price can leap over time and stay high, as in the chart here, where it has roughly doubled since 2020 and not crashed since. But again, unless you have a basement filled with stacks of 5-pound copper bars, or you are a criminal stripping homes of copper pipes to sell to some shady businesses, you are unlikely to be trading the physical metal for a profit. If you are trading the commodity over the internet, well, that's another story for someone else's video. Here I'm talking about the physical stuff you can hold in your hands. Speaking of things in hand, one thing people often don't consider is the value of how items are formed, packaged, and presented. If someone were to present you with the raw materials for a sandwich in the middle of the street, a loaf of uncut bread, a whole tomato, a wad of meat, some squirts of mustard and mayo, and dump them all into the palms of your cupped hands, you'd have enough valuable material for several sandwiches. You might even enjoy slapping one together yourself. But would anyone else want to share whatever messy meal you could make of it? Or would you rather be presented with a nicely pre-made sandwich you could enjoy straight away, or put away in a pack for later, even if it costs more than the combined materials? Most people, I'd wager, would take the nicely crafted sandwich over the edible mess. Similarly, if someone were to give you a 20-pound amateur melt of slightly impure copper as an ingot with Copper Sky's budget pores stamped onto it, you might find difficulty in carrying it around, storing it, or convincing anyone else to take it in trade. But a shiny coin with an attractive design that calls out its pure copper content, well, I can see a place for both depending on the situation. A 1 ounce bag of silver shavings similarly might hold the same spot value as a silver coin, but which one is easier to drop into your pocket and more appealing for trade? The bag of what I might try to convince you are real shavings of pure silver would likely lose out to a Sunshine Mint silver round with security features, even if I had an ounce or more of the shavings. Do you stack silver bullion? Well, if you do, you've no doubt seen collectible silver rounds for sale. I've heard some people refer to these types of coins as semi-numismatic, but what they really are is collectible bullion, which could take many shapes. One of the most popular designs I've seen are the Silver Shield mini mintage rounds, which are a limited run of silver bullion. Did you know that you can also get many, if not most, of these designs in copper form as well? The Golden State Mint offers copper versions of these designs. So here's my tip. If you really just want that cool "don't tread on me" snake and a coin to admire, you can get that in your hands for a fraction of the premium on an actual Silver Shield mini mintage round. They even come with the issue date on the back for the copper rounds. It's a matter of personal taste and perception of value, but I think a brilliant new example of a copper coin can be every bit as attractive as silver or gold. Hold the edges and turn a copper version around in your fingers to your heart's content. An ounce is an ounce, so you'll even enjoy the same heft in your copper round. Another example of the value of presentation over spot metal value are simple copper stamping blanks like those that could be used for engraving crafts. Hand someone one of these in a copper round with a design like this one. Given the same weight and size, ask them which one they'd rather take for barter. Chances are it would be the one that looks like currency, not to mention most copper blanks are thinner to allow for easier stamping. Lastly, if the packaging and presentation of something resembling currency is key, well, why not just stack as many pennies as you can find, you might ask. I addressed this in my other video, since it's probably the most common argument against stacking copper rounds. This comes mainly from older folks who happen to have bags and bags of wheat pennies they've collected and remember obtaining much more easily in decades past. Not to say you can't get them today. I do think there is value in collecting older pennies, but as I covered in my other video, amateur melting of copper from most pennies you find these days that aren't 95% zinc will still result in the release of toxic gases, making their immediate utility for melting in an uncontrolled environment more challenging. In terms of barter, there is also a natural stigma attached even to old pennies, being the smallest denomination of coin in the US. Though one could say the same of trading junk silver dimes during the apocalypse. If handed to the average American, most would not know what dates of US currency contain a percentage of zinc versus copper, or, for that matter, a percentage of silver. You can, however, immediately feel the value and potential utility in a 1 ounce 999 fine copper bullion round. All that said, if you have a big bag of old wheat pennies, by all means keep them. Their numismatic or collectible value exceeds their scrap metal value, but they have more copper in them than any modern pennies. It's also worth noting, however, that Section 331, or Title 18, was a law passed in 2006 in the U.S. to ban the melting of coins as a practice. However, this law only applies to coins struck at mints in the United States, not generic copper rounds. So in summary, the main appeal as I see it of copper bullion rounds is around the fact that they look like coins, which have been a standard in trade for millennia, and therefore a good option for trade while having a heft and pure utility well beyond most modern coins. Again, covered in my other video. Most copper rounds and bars I've seen also call out their 999 pure copper content in big visible letters. As a side note, while silver coins might be faked, I've never heard of a fake copper bullion round. Give it time, I suppose, and anything could turn up at a site like AliExpress, though. So, how to go about getting the best deal for your attractive coins or bars? Since I gave so many pros to owning copper in my last video, I'll share a major con here. The percentage of spot price above the metal to the percentage of 40 cents of copper in a $2 coin is only 20%. I hope you followed my math there. A silver stacker may pay a premium of $5 on a coin, but that $5 is a much smaller percentage of the purchase of a silver coin. So how can you reduce the cost of the premium over copper spot as much as possible? Shop around and buy in bulk. I have seen 100 copper rounds in the same tubes they send you the coins from online dealers, the big ones, for around $1.80 per coin, or round I should say again, on auction sites from reputable sellers. They come in the same attractive designs based on those of old currency, like the capped bust design shown here. Getting copper in larger ounce denominations isn't necessarily a better value as you might think. Certainly I've found kilo and pound bars of copper from small and amateur sources, and even nicely presented ones that are a better value than the coins in terms of the metal you get, but this is not always true for the 5-ounce versions of coins. At the Golden State Mint, a 5-ounce copper round can run you $17.67, which is more than 5 1-ounce coins at $3.32 each. On the flip side, a single half-ounce coin from the same mint sells now for $2.59. So my observation is that the 1-ounce coins are simply more plentiful and more easily manufactured by the mints, and therefore sell at a better price. So stick to the 1-ouncers. The bars can also be found for a decent price in 1-ounce format. So there are other ways that you can avoid getting beat up by the cost of premium over spot, and these are around volume, shipping, and card versus check. If you use an online retailer for your purchase, you'll note that the as low as price often doesn't apply until you've purchased a large quantity. In the case of copper rounds or small 1-ounce bars, I would recommend a large purchase to further ensure your price disparity on each coin versus the spot price of copper is as low as possible. Make sure you factor in the price of shipping as well. Many sellers, both mint sites like the Golden State Mint and private sellers at auction sites, will offer free shipping on purchases over price points like $100. Lastly, you will often get charged more for using a credit card at the big online retailers of precious metals. So if your online bank offers you the option to wire money, you may save significantly in the overall purchase price if you buy 200 copper rounds, for example. So should you stack copper bullion rounds? Yes, I think you should, though not for investing in a potential gain in value of the metal to the moon, but rather for having a pseudo-currency on hand for barter and utility. I wouldn't stack them to the rafters, but I'd own a few hundred because I think the day will come when they'll be worth their weight in copper, literally. I also enjoy giving them away in addition to normal tips, as they always bring a smile to the recipients. In terms of their value, I'd take a large, shiny, pure copper bullion round and trade for an item in today's $2 range, adjusting for inflation, of course. So, for example, a box of Band-Aids or a couple of packs of vegetable seeds. Essentially, I see them holding the same intrinsic value of their metal that made copper coins a choice currency for thousands of years. You may disagree, and that's fine, but I do see them holding more value than a fiat currency minted in cupronickel, and I think most people would align with that idea as well. Well, that's my take today on the monetary value and presentation of pure copper rounds and bars. I hope you enjoyed my take on, again, what's often overlooked as a novelty item at precious metal retailers. If you want to hear more about the potential value of copper rounds and minted bars in a post-apocalyptic scenario, or from the take of a prepper, check out the pinned video of 10 reasons to own pure copper on my channel. I'd also appreciate your comments, even if you disagree with my take. Until next time, this is Copper Skies of the Hudsmith Bugout. Also, if you're interested in stacking silver, I suggest you check out Walking Liberty Halves. He's got a great channel, good information, if you're into the silver side of things.